welcome to the video. I'm Melissa, I write books. I think you know what's brought us all here today. I am indeed jumping on the bandwagon. Are you shocked? No. I am gonna do 75 hard for writers. Maybe you're gonna do it with me. I'm gonna give just like a very brief overview of what 75 hard is, because I actually have done the original 75 hard, which is like a mental toughness challenge by some guy with a podcast who made these rules and decided that if you were mentally strong, then you had to follow these rules. I sound a little like, ooh, I'm over it. Here's why. There's a community around 75 hard that's very positive. There's also a community around 75 hard that is so toxic. People will try to say, oh, can you do audiobook listening as you're reading? And they're like, no, it's really about mental toughness. So if you can't handle the heat, get out of it. And like, people will be like, well, what about blind people? And they're like, guess they're not mentally tough. It's like very... If you are a 75 hard bro about to go into my comment section, just like, don't even bother, okay? But I have done the original 75 hard all the way through, not skipping any days. The original 75 hard is 2 45-minute workouts non-consecutively. One of them's outside, one of them's both of them can be outside. You have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book, eat a certain diet, you don't drink alcohol or have any cheat meals or whatever. You take a progress picture every day and you drink a gallon of water. So that's like the original 75 hard, which again, I have done. The reason I'm doing it here is because I need a little kick in the pants. I think it would also be good for me to have like some checklists of things that I do every day to kind of make writing draft 2 of this book fun. I'm not doing this to like push me to a point of burnout. And so the way I've structured the way I'm gonna do it, most of these things, honestly, I do already. And so it's just a way to like hold myself accountable and make sure I keep doing them, right? So here are my rules for the next 75 days. And I'm gonna have one 45-minute workout a day. It doesn't have to be consecutive. So often I'll go for a swim and like I'll do lap swim, and that I usually don't swim for more than like 20-25 minutes, but I do go on like pretty much a 45-minute walk every day. So that is what I'll do. I also might throw in some weightlifting in there as well. And then we have, for my writing goal, a lot of people who are doing this challenge are maybe full-time writers or don't work conventional day jobs. I do have a 9 to 5. So my writing goal is going to be 1 hour or 1,000 words, whichever comes sooner. And I can obviously write more than that, but I think an hour is reasonable for me. It doesn't have to be consecutive, nothing like that. That's gonna be my writing thing. I'm gonna try to drink the amount of water, or I need to do the math, but it's like half of your body weight in water. In the original 75 hard, it's like a gallon or 2 gallons or something. It's 2 gallons, I think, which is too much water for some people. And that's what's annoying about the 75 hard bros is that they're like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, yeah, you can actually really do some damage, flush out your system with too much water. Most people, that's not an issue, so please continue to drink water. There's also, you're supposed to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. I'm gonna have that be 15 minutes of any book. I've just like not been reading very much recently, and I actually have a lot of fiction that I wanna read, and I think as a writer, reading fiction is sort of like nonfiction because you're like studying it. We're gonna count it, okay? For the diet side of it, I'm not having a particular thing in this category because I've been having a really low appetite recently, and so I'm actually trying to eat more. So I'm not having a particular, it has to be this many calories or anything like that. I'm just going to try to eat high protein and high fiber. So like this isn't a fitness challenge for me, it's like an accountability challenge. Instead of doing a progress picture every day, I'm just gonna like check in with a vlog. And I'm also like, my vlogs aren't going to be like 75 hard vlogs, right? Some of them might be title thumbnailed that. It'll just be my usual content, but I'll probably check in and like talk about it at the beginning and the end of the video. And there is a stipulation in the original 75 hard where if you skip a day, you have to start from the beginning, and we're not doing that. Also, don't make me go on a tirade right now, but the original 75 hard really only works for men or it's designed for men. Women are very cyclical. Like there are times of your cycle where you're like you shouldn't be doing 2 45-minute workouts, you know, and then there's times of your cycle where you should, like, it's just not built for women, frankly. Like women can do it, and like I know people who have done it, I have done it myself. It's just not the best for like our bodies, you know? Anyway, don't get me going on that. Don't do it. I found this little Notion template that essentially just is like a tracker. So I'm gonna start today, which is Juneteenth actually. Happy Juneteenth. It's not Juneteenth for you, but happy Juneteenth retroactively. And so I'm gonna start today. I've already done my workout. I went for a swim this morning. Have not done my writing yet, have not done my water yet. Haven't really done any of these other things yet, of the reading or anything like that. So yeah, that's how it's going. Anyway, I also got a new mechanical keyboard. Would you like to see? If you're my mother, I did not spend very much money on this, except for I did. Don't tell my mom. Okay. It's the same one I think Cody and now Lynn have too, but like this is some of the, and also you can adjust like how bright or how dim the light is, and you can have different settings. I don't love like the rainbow backlight necessarily, but I do like, there's one where it's just like a little bit of blue in the background that I like. Just a little bit of lighting. I also ordered this is just a placeholder for now, but like a wrist rest. I do still have this keyboard and I probably will honestly use it pretty frequently. This one's better ergonomically, but this one's good for motivation. So if I'm needing motivation, I'll be here. If I'm writing like all day and my wrists are screaming, then I'll go back to this one. I think it's good to just have a mix, but I love it. I'm obsessed. So I'll let you know, I'm writing with some people tonight, so that'll be for sure my hour, and then gotta get reading sometime today. This will be good for me, I think. And also, if I, for some reason, find that this is like negatively damaging me, I will stop, and I will not feel bad about it. So if you want to do it too, go for it. I wanted to share the first book I'm going to be reading is ambitious. It's ambitious. But I was looking at the line spacing, and I think it'll actually be pretty quick, but it's called When the Moon Hatched. This is a fantasy book I picked up ages ago. This is about an assassin for the rebellion group and a rival bounty hunter, and she's imprisoned. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna try to bounce around in genres. I have a lot of books that I haven't read. Not like a ridiculous amount, but a decent amount. And I have a decent amount of thrillers and a decent amount of fantasy. This might take the whole 75 days, although I really doubt it. The thing about me, it takes me a minute to like read a book and get into it. And then once I'm, I don't know, this far in, girl, I'm zippity-doo-dahing through. So I mean, I have to go read it now? Something about reading that's hard, you know? Anyway. So it's day one. It was supposed to be day one yesterday, and then I didn't have time to finish my writing because I was writing with people, and then we didn't end up doing a second sprint. So I was like, okay, I'll just start tomorrow. It's okay. So really starting off the challenge strong. Anyway, I still have half hour of writing to do, but I've done my reading. I'm gonna go to the pool, so that'll cover that. So I was gonna tell you something. Oh my gosh, what was it? Oh, okay. So for my book, I've been going back and forth about like, how do I want to do draft 2? Do I want to make it like a really clean, polished prose? Or do I want to just kind of write it like it's a first draft? And I don't want to do that. So what I've kind of landed on is sort of a mix. I was going to, after I finished writing the first draft of a chapter, like go back right away and like edit through the chapter, look at like the scene continuity and the scene arc. Like, is there a full arc within the scene and not just like a conversation? Because I feel like earlier on in my writing, like a scene would be just two people having a conversation about something. And like, yes, technically it moved the plot forward, but the scene itself like didn't have like a beginning, a middle, an end, and a cliffhanger, which is what I typically like to do with a scene. Scenes and chapters are kind of one and the same for me. I'll sometimes change how my chapters are later, but it's typically like 1 or 2 scenes per chapter. And if it's a multiple scene chapter, it's typically a montage. So it's like there's an arc within the montage, you know? Like, let's say 2 people are arguing about, should we tell the police this thing? This doesn't even happen in this book, but I feel like it's a good example to illustrate. So at the beginning of the scene, it might be like, oh my gosh, this thing happened. What should we do? Maybe one person wants to tell the police, one person doesn't. And they kind of get into an argument about it. One person's like rising the action, and then the other person's like, no, we can't tell the police because because this twist could happen, right? And then they both make a decision. There's a cliffhanger that the person's like, I'm gonna tell the police anyway. And that's the end of the chapter, right? So there's an arc within the scene itself, or like a different example of like an action scene would be like, people are, let's say, breaking into a store. The beginning of the scene would be like them breaking into the store. Oh, it's building. Are they gonna get caught? Are they gonna get caught? Oh, they almost get caught. The manager comes back. They weren't supposed to be back. And then it's like, oh, the manager slipped away. They're able to get what they need. But then they accidentally left a fingerprint. You know, like within the chapter and within the scene, there should be an arc, even if it's just a conversation or whatever. And right now, some of my scenes have that because honestly, naturally, that's just kind of how I write. But the plan was after each chapter to go back and like look at the scene in that way and see like, do I like all these sentences? And it doesn't have to be perfect because of course I'll line edit, but like, am I happy with how this scene plays out? But what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna do it like 5 chapters at a time. So I'm going to write the first 5 chapters and then I'm actually gonna get them printed out and really look at the scene arcs and see like, do I want to make any changes? Sort of like the big line edit that I did. I want to do more line editing along the way, especially now that I feel pretty certain about the plot. Like I could change things, that's always a possibility, but at this point, especially the beginning feels very correct. But also, even if I do end up changing things, I think it's still worth it to line edit in the moment because it's sometimes difficult to see like, is this scene not working because it's just like kind of crappily written and there's some scene, like line level edits, or is it not working because it's not right for the story? And sometimes it's hard to see that if you don't actually look at the scene in its best form. So that's why I think I'm gonna do that. So every 5 chapters, get them printed out or like look at them in a PDF or something, you know, make those edits to those chapters and then move on. It's not gonna be super extensive line editing, but it's like anything I see, anything I really don't like, I'll change. Oh my gosh, good morning. It's the morning. We had so many thunderstorms last night, like tornado siren, midnight, trees, you know. It's day 2 of 75 hard and I'm feeling #75 over it. But no, I'm not. I was realizing yesterday as I was doing my second 25-minute or 30-minute sprint that like I haven't written for an hour in weeks. Like I've written most days, but not for more than half hour. I guess I have like, that's maybe not the most correct because I have like worked on writing related things for a few hours, but typing, drafting for an hour, my hands, my wrists and my fingers. I also have been knitting recently, so like that's probably a factor too. But I'm like, man, like this is a lot of work. Like it was also good. It was like flexing the muscle. The muscle was sore. The muscle was like, we haven't been used. I think I'm gonna try to do, I'm going to do, well, it's already 10. So I slept in because I was up in the night with the storms, but I'm gonna write for half an hour now just to get one of those sprints out of the way. I think I'm gonna go somewhere, like a coffee shop maybe. I don't know, like 11 a.m. on a Saturday at a coffee shop is like probably the most like location you could go, but I'm gonna see if maybe there's one with like outdoor seating I could go to. Maybe I'll bring my fan fiction and work on that. That would count as writing too, because it is. I do plan to go to the pool sometime today. I mean, it's only open until 3, so I would need to go relatively soon. But also, I did go yesterday. Should I really be swimming every day? I could go on a bike maybe tonight, like this evening. Sorry, this clip is just me deciding what to do with my day.
Silk lining, delicate paper, tangerine rind. 2 petals on the dresser all come to mind. soft blonde pink.
Okay, I thought I would do a little garden update because I'm so confused about what's going on. Okay, so it's all kind of growing nicely. This one's kind of growing like sideways, and I'm like, hey, go over there. That's where you need to go. Okay, everything's growing well. But here's the thing. The lemon thyme, also there was a thunderstorm. The lemon thyme has infected everything else, I think. Is that what this is? Or are these weeds? Someone assist. But it's like in everything. Is that gonna be a problem, or is that fine? Are we all fine with that? Is it gonna impact the growth of other things? Like, is it gonna make everything smell kind of lemony? My spearmint's really, you didn't even notice that. But see, like even in the corner over here, like this is where the lemon thyme is. How did it get all the way over there? So if anyone has any thoughts, specifically Joy, you are my official garden consultant. Welcome. Let's talk inside. Oh my gosh, hi. How's it going? That was a terrible angle. Wow, let's get to a nicer spot. It has been a good day. I only wrote the one sprint so far, but I'm gonna hope to do 2 sprints, about an hour. Went to the coffee shop and did a little bit of reading. I'm starting to get to the point with the book where I started reading beyond the 15 minutes, which I feel like the theme of this video, I mean, is yes, 75 hard for writers, but also that the motivation comes with the discipline. Even with something that's like purely for enjoyment, like reading, sometimes having the discipline of like, okay, read for 15 minutes, then the motivation and the joy comes. Your brain, or my brain, I don't know, I feel like other people's brains do this too, hopefully, likes to play little tricks. It likes to be like, oh, that thing you thought was fun, it's not fun. You don't like that. Yes, I do. So did that, went on a long walk. It's hot, it's like 90, oh my gosh. Did some cleaning, finally cleaned my kitchen. It's been like an embarrassing amount of time. And I gotta change the laundry. And you like don't realize that you haven't done laundry in a while until I'm like, I am literally out of clothes. And I said, okay. So I've been doing the laundry, I've been watching some Doctor Who, working my way through season 2. I'm gonna do like an hour of writing now, and then I think I have 4 episodes left of season 2, and so I think I'm gonna just watch that tonight. I don't have to, obviously, but that would be kind of fun. That's like 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that. Be all in my feels. And then I think tomorrow will be the last day of this vlog, because tomorrow, I usually crash out on Sundays, and usually is maybe a big word. I don't know, I've just noticed that because there's less to do, and it's like, I'm out of routine, and like typically I don't know. So I'm trying to have like a really organized day tomorrow where like I go to the store and I get groceries and I meal prep and I have to edit the video. So I'm gonna save that for tomorrow so that I have things to do during the day. Cause otherwise I just sit and I like stew. I'm kind of choosing today to be the day where I stew a little bit more, and then leaving some of my action items for the weekend for tomorrow. Like typically I will edit a YouTube video on Saturday and like try to do any shopping on Saturday, but I'm gonna leave that for tomorrow because I wanna have things that I can check off of a list that I feel pressure to do, because that will help fill my day a little bit, so I hopefully will spiral a little bit less. I also wanted to talk about, I'm on chapter 2, and I'm finding it's interesting because chapter 1 was feeling really odd to me. Like it felt like my usual voice was missing. And that actually makes a lot of sense because Eli, who is chapter 1, is in Eli's POV, and it doesn't make sense for him to have this like more voicey inner monologue. He's very pragmatic and very practical, sort of. What he does every day is very serious, and he thinks very clearly about it. And so I was just feeling weird about it because it didn't feel like my normal writing. Like it felt kind of flat and kind of like basic. And I might make some edits. I think I do need to make some changes to chapter 1 because it's just weirdly long for what's happening. Then I got into chapter 2, and what I've kind of been doing is like, honestly, this chapter, I think most of my chapters are kind of broken up into like 3 arcs or acts. I mean, it's only a 2,000 word scene, but like sort of this initial opening of the scene that's kind of the hook of the chapter. I was talking about this a little bit earlier. And then there's this middle conversation, and then there's this final like thing that happens. I like took what I wanted from the original, and I did that for the first act. So it was like, what, 600 words or something. And then I went full screen. So I couldn't see the past stuff, and I kind of like wrote my way through what was there. Like I kind of took the bare bones, which is like honestly mostly dialogue. I feel like my dialogue is what's good from dictation, and sometimes I'll have a good line in there, but I kind of just transferred what I wanted, and then I got rid, like I made it so that I couldn't see the past version, because otherwise I'm like trying to edit through the past version instead of like writing fresh what I actually wanted the flow to be. And so then I kind of wrote through that, and it's felt good. And it's felt like the voice is kind of solidifying more for Greer, which is good, but I have to be careful because she's not Danny. And I'm so used to writing in Danny's POV, and Danny's from Gas Station, which I was writing before this. And they're not the same. They're actually quite different at the beginning of the book. Greer is very genuinely a positive person, and Danny was not. And so I find myself like starting to write things, I'm like, Greer would not think this. This is a Danny line, and I like it, but it's not. This is not Danny. I've been kind of working with that, but I'm just kind of taking my time with chapters a little bit more. I've been averaging about 500 words per 30 minutes, which I used to average like 800 to 900 words per 30 minutes, but I'm okay to just take it a little bit slower. Sorry, I'm just looking at Query Tracker. Somebody stop me from going on Query Tracker every second of the day.
Vitamins and history books, psychology and a different way to look at it all. 'Cause my perspective is broken. If suffering's a way to earn your keep, I better start putting miles on my feet. But I'm so tired of wandering. Yeah, I'm lost.